Hi, Elaine here, countryhomeandheart.net is my website, and tonight I'm going to be cooking up some of those vegetables that I got in my little haul yesterday that I got from the farmer's market when we went there. So I found a recipe on a recipe sharing website that was posted by Barbara Miller. And I did get her permission to do a video on this recipe, and it sounded really good. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let's see, she calls it zucchini squash cake casserole. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then I also have some green beans and some new potatoes that I'm going to be putting in my pressure cooker. And we'll do that a little bit later as well. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. So let me turn you down so you can see. Okay, and there we go. This is going to be one of those easy dump-in type recipes, so those are always good. Okay, so this, in this bowl, is 1½ cups thin sliced zucchini, and I'll show you how thin that I sliced that. Let's see, yeah, if you can see that. I sliced that very thin, along with 1½ cups of thin sliced yellow squash, and there's how thin I sliced the yellow squash. So, okay, so I'm just going to dump that right in that bowl. I'm kind of just going to take my hand and mix that together a little bit, like that. Okay, and to that, we're going to add 1 medium onion that has been chopped fine. So let me go ahead and put that in. Okay, and kind of get that started mixing. I always like to try and mix a little bit ahead if I can. Okay, and then to that, we're going to add 3 heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise. So let me get that out. And so you see I'm not really measuring, I'm just kind of dumping that in. Okay, and there's my 3 spoonfuls. Drop that in the sink. Okay. And to that we're going to add 4 large eggs. And I already started those eggs. I beat those eggs a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and just dump those right in. And the next thing we're going to add is 1 cup of baking mix. That would be something like Bisquik or on that order. Well, I didn't have any, so what I did was I made my own Bisquik. And I will put the recipe for making your own Bisquik down in the description, because it's not hard to do. And if you're like me, I've bought Bisquik by the big box before and wound up not using it, and then over time bugs hatch and get in it, and you know, there's little bugs, and we don't want that. So I thought it would be easier just to go ahead and make my own and store it. It'll store in the refrigerator for up to 3 months. Okay, so we just do it that way. And that was 1 cup of grated cheddar cheese. I imagine you could probably put any kind of cheese you would like in it, but I'm going to use the cheddar. Okay, and stirred that a little bit, and now I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon each of salt and pepper. So let me get my measuring spoon. There's my ½ teaspoon. There's 1. And there's the pepper. I'm running out of pepper, and we'll have to get some. Okay. Alright, and now I'm just going to mix this together really well. And make sure that I have all of the baking mix dissolved in here. We don't want any lumps. According to recipe, she said that you want to mix that until you don't have any lumps in it. So make sure we get all of that baking mix that I made dissolved in here. This smells really good. So I think this is going to be pretty good. Alright, just about there. Okay, it looks like we got it. So her recipe calls for putting this in a 9-inch cake pan with at least 2-inch deep sides so that you don't have any spillover. Well, I didn't have one that had that deep a side, but what I did have is my Copper Chef pan, and which is okay to use in the oven. Let me rinse my finger off here. There we go. And so I'm going to use it because it has nice deep sides, so I know that there won't be any spillover. Okay, and I have my oven preheating. I've had it preheating at 350 degrees. So I'm going to spread this in this Copper Chef pan that I have. It looks like it's going to work really well too. Okay, and we're just going to spread this in like that. And there we have it. Okay, so I am going to put this in the oven, and let me see, her recipe says, let me check this real quick, 45 to 55 minutes. So I'm going to check this in about 45 minutes, and I am in the meantime going to start my green beans in the pressure cooker. So I will be back with you when I'm ready to start those green beans. Okay, I'm back, and I have some salt pork slices that I've actually started browning in my pressure cooker. Now let me turn you down so you can see. Alright, there you go. And you see I'm kind of browning that, just browning that salt pork. And I'm doing these in the pressure cooker because it's kind of the way my mom always did it, and it was the way she taught me. So I kind of just kept this up over time, but just going to get this, I have about, maybe 2 tablespoons or so of bacon grease that I put in here along with the salt pork, just to brown the salt pork in it. And let me show you the salt pork. This is what, I actually got this at Piggly Wiggly, and it's just plain old, it's already sliced, and so that will be really nice, and I give this, it'll give the green beans a really good flavor. Okay, and so that's browned, and I'm going to move this off the heat. And here are my green beans that I broke up earlier, and I'm just going to dump those right in. And I'm going to put some water in this. I'll be right back. Okay, and there they are. Now I did another video on the safe handling of pressure cookers like that, so we never ever fill these more than 2/3 full. And that one is just about halfway, I think. So we never fill those any more than 2/3 full. Okay, and I have put I'm going to turn that back up to high because I want the pressure to build in that, and I'm going to put my little rocker right on the valve. And when this little safety release valve pops up and this starts to rock, we're going to turn our heat down, and I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And I'm going to cook these green beans for just about 15 minutes, and then I will be letting the pressure out of my pot and adding my new potatoes and putting it in maybe for another 10, and they will be done. So it's one of the things I really like about pressure cookers. So okay, so this it'll take this probably, it takes it about 5 to 10 minutes to come up to pressure. And this being an older pressure cooker, I've had this for probably 45 years. And with it being an older pressure cooker, sometimes the gasket is a little worn, and it'll take it a little bit longer to build up pressure. But it does cook faster, I think, than some of the more modern pressure cookers like the Instant Pots and things like that. So I've just kind of got spoiled to my old pot here, and that's what I use. So we're going to have these beans, and also what I didn't show you is earlier today I made a peach cobbler out of those fresh peaches, and we're going to have that for our dessert tonight. So, okay, so this will come up. This is going to come up and start rocking pretty soon, and when it does, we're going to go ahead and get everything else ready. And I will be back with you when everything's done and I get ready to plate things up. So we'll be back soon. Okay, I'm back for just a little bit, and my pressure cooker has started to rock, and I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Okay. And you see, I've just got a gentle rock maintained. I'm not doing a real heavy, hard rock, and as long as you just maintain that gentle rocking, it's perfectly okay. It's perfectly safe. If it was going real hard, and if this little rubber valve here was to come all the way out and steam started escaping, then you better look out because it's getting ready to blow. But if everything on there is fine now, and it's just exactly doing what it should be, that's just a little gentle rock. Actually, I'm going to turn my heat up just a tiny bit because it's not rocking quite as much as I'd like it to rock. Yeah, that's coming a little better there. Okay. Okay, well, I just wanted you to see that, and so I will be back when everything's done and show you what everything looks like. Okay, we're back and everything is done, and I have this all plated up. So let me just show you. Put this down a little bit. Okay, and this is my husband's plate, but I want you to look. You can see all those layers of the zucchini in that casserole. And everything came out really good, it looks like. I've got my husband's plate here, and I've got some cantaloupe. I got that at the farm market yesterday, and some fresh tomatoes, and there's the green beans and new potatoes that I fixed. We'll put that out of the way. And then the squash and zucchini casserole. And here is some of that peach cobbler that I made yesterday. So that's going to be for our dessert. So let me do this. I'm going to grab a little fork, and let me turn you up because I have never made or tried her recipe before. So let's see how it came out. That is very good. It's very good. It's moist. It's you can taste the zucchini and the squash really well. Just a real nice, combination of flavors in that. So I definitely would recommend you to try it. And I will list the ingredients down below, along with the ingredients of how I made the baking mix. And I just want to thank Barbara Miller again for allowing me to make a video of her recipe and share her recipe with all of you. Barbara is very good. Thank you so much. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.